Hi, my name is Carolyn Klauba and I'm the Stewardship Director for the Sauerland Conservancy. Today I'm at Usamansa with the Sauerland Conservancy planting interns, and they are planting in here along this stream bank. We are selling biodiversity kits, and part of that biodiversity kit is deer protection. And so I'm going to walk you through how to protect your new trees from deer herbivory using these Plantra tree tubes. So when you get home with your tree kit, you're going to have to dig holes for your trees. So the tree size that we're using are tubling size. So when you get your trees and you're going to take them out, squeeze the bottom of the tray. Don't just yank the top of the tree. You don't want to hurt it. So squeeze the bottom of the tray and take your tree out. There are 4 different tree species that you're going to be planting, so just make sure you pick the right species for the right spot. Some of the trees are going to be really big, like your white oak, and other ones are going to be smaller, like your viburnum, the nannyberry. Once your tree comes out, you want to loosen your root ball. So if the tree is root bound, means that the roots are wrapping around the base of the tree, so you just want to loosen it up to encourage them to spread their roots out. Then you're going to find the spot that you want to plant, and we're going to plant right here since we're doing a riparian planting. We're planting right along the stream bank, and you're going to dig a hole that's deeper and wider than your plant. So these tubelings are only about this big, so you want to dig a hole about this deep and this wide, and then we're going to backfill it to be the proper height and depth for our plant. Now our hole is dug. This hole is way too deep and wide, but we want to make sure the soil is nice and loose around our tree, so we're going to backfill this hole. So when you put your tree in the hole, you want the root collar of the tree, and that's that area where the roots start flaring out of the stem, to be at soil height. So that's what we have here after we started backfilling our hole. So now we're going to start putting the soil all around this tree, and we're going to make sure it's nice and snug and you get good soil and root contact. So it's packed in there nice and tight. The next step is taking our tree stake. You'll notice on your tree stake that there's a sticker, and that sticker goes closer to the ground. So what I like to do is put it, if you're doing a riparian planting, you want to put it on the upstream side. So right now we're along a stream bank, and so the stream's running this way, so I'm going to put it upstream of the tree, and then I like to push it down as hard as I can, and then once it's in, you're going to take your stake driver. Don't use a mallet. Make sure you either borrow a stake driver from us or you can build your own. We'll give you plans on how to build it if you want to have your own, but if you hit it with a mallet, you might shatter the fiberglass stake, so make sure you use a stake driver. You're going to take your driver, put it over the top of the stake, and then drive it down. You want to make sure that you drive your stake down to the green sticker side. Of course you can't see that because I had the sticker on this side, but trust me, that sticker is down at soil level. Next, you are going to take a sleeve. You're going to make sure it's open. They come flattened down like this, so just squeeze the opposite sides and pop it open. Slide it over the top of your stake. Hello, tree friend. And make sure your tree is inside, right? That's the whole point. So you should put it down over the top. You don't want to have your tree out here. The tree has to go inside. Once it's down there, shimmy the tube a little bit to get the bottom in the soil. Then what I like to do is take any remaining soil that I have and put it up around the base of your tube, and this stops moles and voles from getting in there and making a home. So pile it up and then pack it down. This is a home for trees, not mammals. Next step is securing your tube to your stake. You can use twist ties or zip ties. In these areas here, we really like using zip ties, especially when water's flowing really, really hard. But the twist ties that come in the kit are also great. So something to keep in mind when you put your twist ties in, there's 3 different points of connection. So when you go to attach it, you want to put your fingers in and grab the stake. And you want to make sure your zip tie goes in through this hole, around the stake, and then comes back out. But you need to make sure that the zip tie or twist tie does not go around the tree. This is really, really important. As the tree grows, if it has a zip tie around it, it's going to cause a lot of damage and the tree could die. So just make sure to take your time, put the zip tie or twist tie through, loop it around the outside of the stake, and then come back out through the hole, but do not grab the tree. Attach one, do one in the middle. Again, grab the stake, feed the twist tie or zip tie around the stake, and close it. And then the last part is a net. This net prevents birds from getting inside the tree tubes, especially as these trees get a little bit bigger. It might have caterpillars on the leaves, or there might have some fruit on the tree, and a bird would land here and say, "Oh, lunch," and jump in to go get it, but then it can't open its wings to get back out. So we want to protect the birds. So put your net on top. And then what you're going to do, when you grab this top hole, put your twist tie or zip tie through, and before you close it, loop it through the net to keep the net on top. Out here at our restoration sites, we also use little tags noting that these are Sauerland Conservancy tubes. So in case for some reason they get washed away, like what happened with Ida, we're able to recover almost all of our tubes because we all had labels on it, which was really great. Something that's really important, not for this year, but maybe for next year, is that in the spring, these trees are going to really start growing, and depending on which species you have, they might actually start growing out of the tube. As soon as the leaves start coming out of the top of the tube, you need to remove this net. This net will kind of strangle the tree as it comes out. So as soon as it's tall enough and those leaves start poking out, take the net off. Other than that, these tubes will stay on your trees for approximately 5 years. What that does is allow the tree to get up and be tall enough to be above deer browse, and it also allows the width of the tree to be substantial enough to be able to withstand buck rub. Unfortunately, in the Sauerlands, we have a lot of deer. They're very hungry, and they also, the males will rub their antlers, and on a really small tree, it can kill the tree. So keep it on for 5 years. The net comes off as soon as the leaves come to the top, and other than that, you're good to go. So if you have questions about the tree tubes or anything that has to do with this biodiversity kit or stewardship in the Sauerlands in general, you can email us at stewards@sauerland.org.